Bucks Packers. What do you got?
Davante Adams will be making his return, and possibly without the Bucks having Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis might be out with an abdominal injury, so that'll be a key one to watch. Chris Godwin on the Bucs side. Chris Godwin, he was stretching on the side, limited practice, mostly doing rehab today. Timeline-wise, I still wouldn't be surprised if he misses this week, comes back possibly next week. Mike Evans did not practice today with his ankle. Again, not concerned about him. That's going to be typical probably for the next 2-3 weeks. So Mike Evans will be a fine play. Jared Alexander would probably be on Mike Evans, and he's been banged up. So I'd gladly take Mike Evans if Godwin is out.
You know who the real winner in all this is? Robert Tonyan. He's going to have another big week this week. Mark my words for it. Huge tight end 1 week comes from Tonyan. Yeah, tight end 1. A tight end 1, not the tight end 1. Okay, let's get that straight. But Chris Godwin's out. Gibson's not 100%. Or Gibson. Godwin's definitely out. Sorry, Evans is not 100%. Yeah, I think Packers win this one going away. We know Aaron Rodgers can perform with no wide receivers, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Aaron Jones he's had a week off. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be hungry. He's going to run all over the place. It is a shame about Carlton Davis. I think he's a good, young, up-and-coming corner, and I think he would have been solid on Adams. I don't think he would have shut him down, but I think he would have been solid. I want to go rewind real quick because I want to talk about the Jets again real quick. Ian Kelly kind of throws out at us, do you think Crowder will keep up his current production? I think the answer is yes. I think Crowder is, I don't want to call him matchup proof, but he is the go-to guy in that Jets offense. He is the underneath guy. Denzel Mims is a big play threat when he'll get back healthy. Jeff Smith's been the big play threat right now. My boy Vincent Smith, he can do a little bit of everything too, but he's not quite ready. Jamison Crowder's already built that rapport with Sam Darnold, so when Sam Darnold's ready to roll, he's going to be ready to roll. And Joe Flacco will be looking for that vet to dump that ball off to. Any short pass is what you're looking for. He's a wide receiver 2 on the year in points per game. I don't know if he's going to finish as in the top 10, but I think he's definitely in that top 20 wide receivers. I think that's where you're going to find him for the rest of the year, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, and I do think he's going to keep up his production. He's got a couple of matchups that I don't necessarily love this year, but in the fantasy playoffs, he's got the Seahawks in Week 14, which I love, and he's got the Cleveland Browns in Week 16. Now, the Rams have actually been really good against receivers, so they're Week 15, so that's a tough one in there. But yes, I mean he's got some matchups that I like. The only problem might be if he gets Adam Gase. I hope he does not. But I love watching Jamison Crowder right now. There's certain guys that pop off the screen and you say, like that guy's got juice. And every time I watch the Jets, I watch him and I think, man, that guy, he's got juice. He looks good.
Now, the one thing that I'm really going to be interested for is the trade deadline because Crowder is one of the Jets' few targets that you could go out there and get who still got a reasonable contract and would immediately help 29 other teams. So Crowder you talk about that fantasy football playoff matchup looking fantastic for him. I want to say pump the brakes a little bit because he may not be on that team for that playoff push.
Hopefully it's Adam Gase that's not on that team. Jumping back over to the Packers and the Bucks, just get in. The matchup doesn't look great on paper, but Aaron Rodgers is matchup proof. You're absolutely, you're starting him right now, and he looks. This Green Bay team, I think, is going to make a lot of teams look bad. They've been very, very good this year. I really like it. So, I do. So you talked about Aaron Jones running all over the place. I don't think he runs all over the place. I think he is very active in the passing game this week. The Bucs actually haven't allowed more than 60 yards on the ground at any game this year. And they played some pretty good teams. So
that stopped this week.
Yeah, but I don't think I think he's going to be more active in the passing game. Aaron Jones has the kind of skill set that I can absolutely just see them look at it and say, we're going to get him involved through the air, because actually the Bucs have not been very good at holding running backs down in the passing game. So that's just my gut feeling on that. I mentioned Ty Johnson with the last game. How about Tyler Johnson in this one? I mentioned him last week too as a guy that I was looking for. He looked amazing. I just saw he was PFF's top-ranked wide receiver in all of college football last year. Scotty Miller played in this one, and Tyler Johnson outsnapped him. He actually looked really good on the targets that he got. He had a catch and run where he was breaking tackles and looked really good too. A lot of things to be excited about. Obviously, Mike Evans is going to get the largest workload, but Tyler Johnson was had the second most snaps on the team last week, and I'm definitely excited about what he can bring to that offense.
That was mostly due to Scotty Miller entered the week with hip and groin injuries, so he's limited a little bit there. But I mean, Johnson looked great.
But Scotty Miller is also limited in ability compared to Tyler Johnson too, and I think that's one of the things. Like, yes, and 100%, you're right. Injury is why he wasn't on the field as much, but you also start to see the juice that Tyler Johnson has, and you start to say, like, hey, maybe this is a guy I want to keep throwing the ball to if you're Tom Brady.
100% agree.
I think the Bucs like Tyler the Bucs like Tyler Johnson. They've hung on to him. They brought him in. There's reasons why they did all this. PFF you can talk about that college grade. Anyone who watched his film knew that he did not have that breakaway speed that you're looking for in the wide receiver position, but he was still able to gain separation, and that is the key. He's always been able to find a way to get separation despite not having the athletic traits that you're looking for. And that is key, especially when you're talking about someone like a Tom Brady, and he's looking for that. All he needs is that, like Gale Sayers used to say, give me 12 inches of daylight. All he needs is 12 inches of separation, and Tom Brady is still a good enough passer to hit him on that every single time. While we're kind of talking here, Bucs, real quick, Eon's going to hit us again here with a little Jamal Williams information. Jamal Williams played a big role last week in the passing, or last time the Packers were on the field there in the passing game. Now, he does mention that Adams was out during that game as well. So Jamal Williams, Robert Tonyan, all these guys got a little bit more into it. It was like a different type of Packers offense than what we're used to seeing once. It's like the Packers, like, you know what? Let's try something different. Let's just throw to our running backs and our tight ends all game and see what happens. Well, the result was pretty good. Now it puts that into teams' heads what they're going to do. I've always loved Jamal Williams. Calvin, you know as well as I do. I'm on Team Jamal. Like, the guy talks about being a mermaid, and being a big fan of Frozen, and some of his post-game interviews are fantastic. He had another one here. He was doing a Zoom call, and the Zoom call got dropped, and he kind of made fun of the guy that was asking the question about not paying his internet bill. So I want to see Jamal Williams play a bigger role in this offense. I just am afraid to put him in my lineup because even though the Bucs struggle against running backs the pass game, it always puts me uneasy. If you're in a deep league and you're looking for a flex play, Jamal Williams is worth a shot, but I'm hesitant on putting him into my lineup.
I knew you weren't going to pass up an opportunity to talk about Jamal Williams there, so that's my favorite part of that.
Yeah, exactly. You know me. I love me some Jamal Williams.